to the 6th workshop by Bite Sized. So today I'm going to be demonstrating how to make your own house model in Onshape. And you can print this and have a little miniature statue of your house. So I'm going to start off by making a sketch here. So I'm going to hide these planes and I'll make a sketch on the right. So I'm gonna make a house with 2 rooms, and I think I'm gonna keep it at that and maybe a few windows. I'm also not gonna worry much about dimensioning since I'm not planning to print this. I am just doing this for tutorial matters. So I made 2 large squares. You can make as many as you want. I'm going to create a coincident between, not midpoint, coincident between these 2 points, and to make sure that they're aligned perfectly. And these are my 2, but you can really make any heights. It doesn't really matter unless you're gonna print it, then it does matter. But I'm gonna make sure that these lines are horizontal using these, and that these lines are vertical. Okay, it seems like they are, so I'm gonna keep it at that. That's gonna be my house now. So select I am done with the sketch and then extrude this. And I don't want to extrude these the same distances, so I'm actually not going to select this. I want this definitely to be a bit more, probably like so. And then I'm going to want to extrude another sketch piece here. And I want this to be a little shorter, maybe like so. Next, I'm gonna create some windows and stuff for my house. So I'm gonna create a sketch on here. For this, you're gonna need to make a door. So I'm gonna do that first. I'm gonna draw a corner rectangle like so, and then I want a door frame. So I'm gonna make this around it. Don't question what it is. um, yes, so next I'm gonna make a few windows, so it's gonna be one right here. Let's make one here. And there's probably not enough space to make something there. And then I'm gonna create little frames for the windows. So I think the first thing I'm gonna do is drag these over. Interesting enough that it's not letting me do that. Okay, I'm back and I managed to fix the drawing a little bit, so this is kind of what I have going on. And I think I'm going to keep it at this for the house, except for one last thing. I'm going to draw a circle, but I'm also going to split it into a semicircle using a line dissecting it through the middle, like here. Okay, so now I'm just going to dimension a few of this stuff. So for example, I'm gonna want to set all of these window heights. Let's make that 25, and I'm gonna set that for all of those real quick. And I'm gonna set this window height to, let's see, I need to select my dimension tool. Let's make that 35. Okay, now I'm gonna add a few dimensions on my own time, and you can feel free to change yours or make them similar to mine. I'll be back in 5. Okay, so I'm back and I dimensioned a few things. I know it looks a little bit hectic, but what I ended up doing was removing my window to the left, and I copied this window on the right and I just shifted it over a little bit to the left, which made it a lot easier because I didn't have to dimension anything else. And then I drew this little construction line to make sure that these are on the same height. And there you go. So now I'm going to do the same thing to my door, but I'll keep you guys on video so you don't miss too much. So I'm gonna make this 45, and this is going to be 30, no, probably 40 would, and then wish I could shift this over, and I'm gonna do that now. There we go. Next, I'm gonna change the heights. So I want the height of this to be 65 and the height of this to be 60. And that will automatically change. So next, I want the distance between this here and this. It's definitely going to be like maybe 3. And it decided to move the entire door frame to fix that. Okay. Next, I'm going to have to dimension the radius because it is changing it. So I think that's probably a bit too small for a doorknob, it may be 5. Next, I'm going to change the distances between these because it's been, okay, good. I like that that's 5, but the distance between here should be 2.5, and the distance between here needs to be 2.5. Good. So there we go. So now we have the door dimension. So the sketch is ready to be finished. And now we're going to extrude this and get to see how it looks. So I'm going to select the extrude button. So first there's going to be some things I want to remove and some things that I don't. So first of all, I definitely going to select things I want to remove first, and that's going to be this little door frame, and then I would say a little bit of the windows just because I think that it looks a little better if some parts are removed. And I'm going to do the same thing here. We're going to select remove, and we want it to remove really only a little bit, probably maybe 5 millimeters maximum of removal. Let's see how that looks. Okay, so we do want to make sure the sketch stays visible, so I'm still going to select it. Next, I'm going to make a doorknob here because um, I do want to get that done with. So there we go. I know it's only a little half of a circle, but it is there. It's a cute little doorknob. So next, we're going to extrude these little lines. So we want this to be sticking out a little bit, maybe like 7 millimeters, and I'm going to do that for the other ones too. And it selected the ones on top, so in that case, it's going to be more like just 2. Okay, so now you see that these window frames are sticking out a little bit, and that looks kind of unnatural, so let's do that to the others. So to make this even, let's make this a decent amount, maybe like 3 millimeters. No, not that. Okay, there we go. And it looks like that's good. So next we're gonna do these sides. And we want these to be sticking out a very chunky much, I think. I think it was, I don't know what I just said, but I think it would look good if it was either 2 or 5. I do want the house to not look like it's like combat house that needs to resist bullets, so I'm gonna make them thinner. But anywho, that looks like a solid front for the house now, and I'm gonna make this sketch not visible because we don't need it anymore. And next, I'm going to make a kind of similar situation going on in here. So here, what I actually was thinking of doing is making a very large window and then kind of, or just making a shell out of this and then letting people kind of see through the house. But I don't know if that's going to be too hard to do, so I might just settle on a large, very nice window. So let's try that first. So I want my window to be utterly huge like that. And we do want it to have some sort of frames going around. So probably here, here, and then I'm gonna need some lines because I want to be able to extrude those and make it look cool. Okay, so there we go. And next, I do want to create something going on inside the house that we can kind of see as a 3D thing, and you'll know what I mean in a second, but before I get to that, I'm just going to work on dimensioning this and then working on it. So this looks like a solid 95 width and maybe a 50, 60 height. This, I don't know why I'm trying to dimension that. I should dimension this to be 4 though. And I don't, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm dimensioning random things. Okay, next are these. So that's not what I meant to click. I'm gonna dimension the widths between these. So for example, these each need to be 1. Give me a second. Okay, I'm back. So all of those are 1. So this looks to be ready to extrude as it is. So I'm gonna select the check mark and then we're gonna select the extrude button. So this time I'm only gonna do these and I'm going to remove these. So, and I want it to be pretty deep. So I would say that's probably enough. I know it's a little hard to visualize, but I hope you can see the shading here. So I'm gonna make this sketch visible again because I'm not done with it and I'm gonna extrude more. So these are gonna be add, yes, and I want them to be 5 millimeters added. That's a decent number. I want it to be like a ledge in my house. And then I'm gonna extrude these windows. That is not what I meant to do. Interestingly enough, oh, because I selected the wrong entity. Okay, I need to be careful about what I click. So, okay, so apparently it doesn't let me do this. I don't know why it's selecting that entity back there, but we're just gonna keep it as is. I think it's fine. So next, I'm actually going to create a sketch inside these and extrude that. So I'm thinking I wanted to do curtains. I don't know how realistic it would be for those to turn out well, but let's try. So the curtains would most likely be on those two. I wish I could like hide a certain thing. No, it's gonna be hard to do. Okay, so I want to make a curve or even a spleen or whatever. I'll do curve. So, um, I think the best thing we can do is a 3-point arc. So I'm going to start it here, and then it's gonna go around here, about like that, and then go down here and go out like that. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. So about here, there we go, and then about here, and there we go. So that looks about right for the curtains. I do want to bring this point down though. Okay, so I think that that should be fine. Um, I don't know what else I can add to this really, so I'm just gonna keep that as is, and then I'm gonna want to extrude these parts. So I'm going to, okay, I'm gonna, sketch 4 should be visible. I'm gonna hide part 1. So I think I need to create borders here first. Give me a second. Okay, so if you didn't get what I meant here, basically I just needed to close off the regions. So if I hide part 1, this is what I now see compared to what I saw previously. So Let me just show you now how I would extrude that on part one. So I'll hide part one just so there's kind of an element of surprise there, and also just so it's not too confusing. And I'm gonna make this extruded 10 millimeters. Here we go, and this is all different parts. It should not be that way, but oh, because it made, all right, that's fine for now. So now we have these little curtains. I don't think I want anything on the back of my house, but I will add some things on the sides here, I guess. I'm not really sure what I can do. I'm thinking I'm probably just gonna keep this a front-facing house and just not use the sides. I'm gonna make a pyramid now for the um, roof. Okay, so I'm gonna make a pyramid on top of both of these using the loft feature. So the way I'm gonna do that is I'm gonna make a custom plane. If you're not sure how that works, check out some of my previous videos, but it's gonna be an offset plane. I'm gonna choose the height of my roof, probably gonna be about here. And that's gonna be my plane. So I'm gonna create a sketch on this plane, and then um, I wanna do it in the center of this house. I'm going to create a point. So I'm going to use the point feature, and I want it to be in the center. So let's see, probably around here. And then of course I'm going to dimension this to make sure, using construction lines, basically, that the distances from one place to another are okay. So pause and I'll get back to y'all. Okay, so next I'm gonna use the loft feature. So let's find it here. There it is. And I'm gonna select here and my point. And there we go. We now have the pyramid. So, and these should all be fine. And we're doing new. Well, let's do add actually. And there we go. And I'm gonna do the exact same thing for here. So I'm gonna make a new sketch. Well, not yet actually. I'm gonna make a new plane. I want this roof to be really short, so about here, create yes, sketch onto here, a single point, yes, and then click the loft button here all the way to here. So there we go. Next, it's up to me to hide these planes. And what plane is this? We do not need it. So next, I'm gonna go change the colors of everything, and I'll get back to y'all. Okay, so I changed some of the colors, and this is the finished result. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this and that your houses turned out even cooler than mine. And I'll see you guys in the next workshops. Thank you for watching, and bye!